Blog Talk Radio.
Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in and for calling in. I want to say thanks to the people who are in the chat room, and also thank you to those who are on the call line. Definitely appreciating your presence here with us today, being present with me. This is the Oracle Shaman, Calliope, calling in and beginning our radio show, Oracular Shamanic Sorcery. This show is sponsored by OracleShamanHealer.com, and we are very thankful for that. Today's topic, we're getting into Hieros Gamos, which is the divine, holy inner marriage of our feminine and masculine energy bodies. So before we get started, let me begin with saying that I will be breaking this down into right now, it's looking like a 4-part series. If Spirit leads me another way, I will definitely be following that. But the reason that I booked the show today to be only about 15 minutes is because I just kind of wanted to get into introducing the topic and breaking down a couple of things. When we talk about anything, first we need to identify that the primary energy governing this world is ignorance. Ignorance, as I say very often, and as was taught to me by a very wise woman, is a curse. I also say education is a business, and so you better believe that knowledge is the power. With that, there are a couple of key terms that we need to make sure we've got down pat. We need to understand when we're talking about words, especially when you check into my shows, you need to know a couple of things about me. I'm a wordsmith. The logos is the Eros to me. It always has been. It always will be. I love the word. This is just something that's a joy and a passion of mine. So when I talk about words, when I use words, I am not using them flagrantly or flippantly the way that it might appear. I am very aware of the energy of that word, what that word means. So a couple of words we're going to need to have a definition of for working order. We're going to need to know the etymological definition of the word balance and harmony. And we're going to need to follow how these words have changed according to culture and popular, what was popular, what was in, what was popular culture, what was popular understandings and applications at that time of the word application being switched to mean something different. And I went over this in one of my shows recently where we talked about elementary and how it meant containing one or the four elements and got dumbed down into elementary school. So we need to know balance and harmony. The other two terms that we're going to need to know and understand intimately is feminine and masculine. When I use the terms feminine and masculine, I am not talking about bodies. I am not talking about people who have wombs and vaginas versus people who have penis and a scrotal sac. I am talking about an energy body. I'm talking about an energy imprint, and this is something that we all possess. It's very unfortunate that our patriarchal global culture has taught us to believe that the feminine is female and the masculine is male. It has completely borked all connection to those concepts and just really made a mess out of our connection to ourselves in a harmonious way, and definitely our interconnectedness with one another. So, as I said, the terms masculine and feminine are not talking about gender. When I use the term masculine, I'm talking about the male sun qualities within each gender. All right? So the gender of female and the gender of male both have the masculine qualities ascribed to them. How we know this is true for women? Well, we give birth to both. Got that switched up right quick. Tongue-tied. We give birth to both male and female. So we are what? Masculine and feminine personified. Our male counterpart has to connect to his feminine self. And this lack of connection to his feminine self has truly meant that he's not able to connect to his feminine female counterpart. And, we know that we live in a world of out of harmony, masculinity and femininity based on what we see. So the terms that we're using to address this, we've got four different ways of looking at this masculine, feminine energy. The first is the divine feminine. The next, or the flip side of that, would be the wounded feminine. For the masculine, we've got the divine masculine. And for the flip side, we've got the diminished masculine. I want to start out by talking about this diminished masculine energy, because it's something that's very easy for women to identify with and understand, because we exist in this patriarchal world as female, and we kind of bear the brunt of the worst of the male supremacist culture going on here. So we know that our wounded, and we have evidence that the masculine in the world, so as a global construct, the male body representation of the masculine is in a wounded state. And we know that by the abuses of power that we see men wield. And so that is something that's very easy for we women especially to identify, right? And I'm sure any men listening are like, oh, God, here we go. But the truth of the matter is, because we both possess these energies of masculinity and femininity, we women are out of balance, too. So we women are also abusing our power because our masculine energy is diminished. Our masculine energy most often takes this diminishment because of some action, interaction, or reaction by our male-bodied cohort, who is supposed to be the living physical representation of that masculine energy. And so he is. Whether he's in harmony, out of harmony, whether his ass is balanced or imbalanced, he is that physical representation of the masculine energy. So as a little girl, if, say, your father was absent from the picture, or if he was present, but he wasn't all he could be, if his presence meant more harm than it did good, these things definitely shape your psyche. And as you grow and continue to encounter and engage males, if this is the only thing that you see, you begin to ascribe that bullshit to the masculine. Now, let's just call it straight and, call it like it is. And we're getting close to the end here, and I will wrap this up and keep it going next week. But the things that males do that we get pissed at them with, we do it, but we do it in a different way. So the things that we see them doing, we ascribe that crap to being masculine. That is not masculinity, though. So abandoning your family because on a whim, breaking up with a girl because she wouldn't do what you wanted her to or obey what you said, all of these hyper-masculine behaviors that we see from men that we find to be repugnant or off-putting, whatever the case might be, we have begun to call that crap masculine, and it's not. That is a diminished masculine energy output on their part, and it is something that we absorb as the receivers of energy and them being the givers of energy. This is something we absorb and we take into our daily life and interaction both with our own self organically and with our female sister circle. So we know we have an abusive power when we don't have accountability, when we don't have the ability to introspect, to see the wrongs or the rights in what one is doing, and the ability to adapt or change, really. That is one of the most clear, I can say, signs that we are in harmony or that we know that we've got work to do, that we're ready to do that work, those kinds of things. So as we continue to go through this series, and I'm really thankful to my guys for leading me this way on this and, for just dealing with me on this energy. This is something I have been resonating with for over a year and a half now. It's just been in my mind. I woke up one morning and the Divine Mother said to me, I need you to write this down. I need you to go in meditation, diminished masculine, wounded feminine. And I was like, whoa, what? Because at the time it was something we were dealing with the height of the divine feminine return and, the masculine energy needing to be either whipped into shape or lifted up into a new form, to be rebirthed, to be something new, something better than whatever the hell this crap is down here that we're having to contend with, both we females and we males who actually got sense about us. So with that being said, I've been resonating on this. I'm really thankful to Spirit for this. I'm thankful to the Divine Mother for this, my guides, everybody who's been working with me on this that I've had that have given me deeper insight into this. And I'm excited to go into the deeper realms of this Hieros Gamos because this is part of what I call the art of getting even. I know that sounds crazy, right? It's because, we have a certain ascription that we give to that phrase. It means something in the society because of how it's typically used. But the art of getting even is really we females getting back in harmony. We are already balanced because we came here with the feminine and masculine energy to give birth to those energies in their physical, tangible form. We already have balance. What we don't have is harmony. What our male counterpart is in need of is balance. He has found a way to harmonize in an imbalanced state and maintain control for centuries. Our men have been imbalanced for thousands of centuries, and they have found a way to be harmonized in that imbalance. We have not found a way to be harmonized. We have not found a way to maintain our quote-unquote equilibrium within ourselves. And part of that is we are receivers of energy and they are givers. And another part of that is the abuse of our own power, where we don't stand up and demand better for ourselves. That's that diminished masculine energy in the female, where we abuse our power and we abuse our divine rights and calling. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because Honey's in my ear telling me I've got 90 seconds before, they cut me off. Thank you for calling in and, for listening. I don't know if anyone has anything they want to say. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat room, but I do see you guys logged in. I have one caller on the line. I don't know if I got enough time to pull you, so I'm not even going to bother with, bugging you, Honey. But thank you to everyone who called in. Thank you to everyone listening. I'm going to definitely take this and make it into a YouTube, and you'll be able to check that out too. Make sure that you tune in next week as we talk about part, 1A of Hieros Gamos, the divine feminine, divine masculine, and the wounded feminine, diminished masculine. I'm Calliope, the Oracle Shaman. This has been a pleasure. Thank you.